Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles and SUVs. And hey, if you want an Ice Age TV sticker, just email me, iceagetvcomments@gmail.com. I'll send you a sticker to put on your car to support the internal combustion engine age, which I think we're having success. But hey, wow, Monday morning, gee whiz. Look at this. Look at the weather. You watch my channel. It's like every time I walk out the door, it's just a beautiful morning for the most part. Wow. What's the word? If you watch my channel, you're probably like, this guy says wow a lot. Because even for me, I'm even like, wow. But hey, thanks for those that watch my channel for tuning in. Thanks to those that maybe are watching the first time. Just a little, me just likes to talk in the morning. Can you notice I like to talk? I like to talk. And I just like to share my ideas and views and thoughts. And I just figure, hey, just speak out loud and share my fun in life. And hopefully this can relate to you in so many ways. Maybe not. Maybe like, wow, that guy's just crazy. Get it? Not. Beautiful. The wife and kid are still gone. I'm the bachelor. And if you watch my channel, yeah, the dad that stays home alone, what happens? Yeah, it can get a little crazy. So great weekend, beautiful weather, and we're off to another adventurous week, being that it's the Thanksgiving week, the holiday week, which I'm sure so many people will be packing up Tuesday and Wednesday to go see family and friends. And I've done that so many years. And this will be the first year for me, I'd have to say I'd have to say 10 plus years. I'd say at least, yeah, about 10 years at least that I haven't packed up and gone somewhere to be with my family. And this year, I will not be with my family, because I'm married to a business and I'm married to a property, and that's just the way it is right now, but it's not forever. And so, wow, what a weekend. Adventures, even for me, stumped on how this all played out. For me going out to Winchester, Virginia with my truck, the Lightning truck over there to get some equipment. And when it's all said and done, it turns into the Honda adventures. And wow, you know, the time, doesn't it just seem like you lose time in life? It's just stolen from you as you progress in life. Doesn't it just seem like, I mean, I'm sure some people would say, yeah, it just seems like I lost so many years. Somebody that's very active in the military, or somebody that's very busy with a job, whatever it may be, you don't have time with your family. And you feel like you lost that. You can never get it back. And in so many words, you feel like it was stolen from you because of your dedication and commitment to doing something. And I know that very well, because I've lived here in this property for 32 plus years. And my whole family moved to Florida back in the early 90s, and I didn't go. And so I totally lost that relationship with my family for really many, many years. And so, which I tried to make it up over the last many years as well. But it's just like, wow, because I was so busy building a business and getting my life going, and people know these stories. And yeah, so here we are in the garage. Look at this here. I've got the garage. Do I have the garage barricaded? I mean, anymore, I'm using the word stolen. And I thought to myself, let's start the Monday morning conversation off with the stolen. That I think that's a name that we're hearing more than ever in our life. That the word steal and stolen is just rampant. It's not good. So here we are in the shop. Who would have imagined, Friday morning watching my videos, you'd all of a sudden see on Monday morning a brand new Honda CB1000R. Yeah, would I have imagined that? Nope. Would you imagine I'd be buying yet another Honda ATV, Honda Foreman Rubicon, matte blue? Yeah, no. I just would have been like, nah, I'm just still right. Let's get the dogs in the office, because otherwise it can get a little crazy. Get the lights on and get the show going. Get the Monday morning show going, and talk about stolen. And there's so many ways you can look at stolen for so many different things in our livelihood and our lives. So it's very broad in so many aspects. And I'm sure everybody here in life has probably experienced something that's been stolen. I have, being in a business, especially if you're a business owner, I guarantee you people would be like, oh man, I deal with thievery and stealing and stolen all the time. And so let's get back here and get another light on here as I continue to catch the mice. My little mice traps are working, thank goodness, because one thing for sure, if you have vehicles sitting around, I had a GT500, and that GT500 was the wiring got eaten up in it from a mouse because they use these stupid type of environmental friendly wiring harnesses. People know that story, right? Yeah. So here we are, Indian. For those people that watch my channel but don't like watching all the time, so the update on the Indian Pursuit has finally come to bed to rest. Indian is buying back my Pursuit. I think a lot of people know that watch my channel, but those that don't watch on a regular basis and have heard all the conversations about the Indian Pursuit, Indian called me on Friday, and it was like Friday at 1 o'clock or something like that. I mean, maybe it was 11:30. I can't keep track. Because before I did the Jeep Wrangler 392 test and drive down the road. And so, yes, Indian is buying back my Indian Pursuit, and I've already started the process, and it's probably going to take a good 30 days to get that done. So that's finally come to resolution. Thank goodness. Thank you, Indian, for doing that. And now what do I do? What do I do now? Because when that bike is reversed back, I'm going to have a chunk of money, and what do I do? And if I was to sell this, some people are like, don't sell the Elite. You know what's incredible? I have this motorcycle on Marketplace for sale, and there's only 200 of these made. I mean, that's what I just read. Indian has a whole new lineup for 2024, meaning different paint schemes, better audio system, and the new Indian Elite. Actually, the Indian Elite really looks good. Would I trade this bike for that bike? I mean, it's pretty cool looking. Man, part of me says to call Indian and say, hey, can you give me an Indian Elite in exchange for that Pursuit? But I don't think these Indian Elites will probably populate till mid next year, personally. I don't know. Part of me is like, another part is like, I don't know. I just got mixed feelings on that. So yes, what do I do? What do I do when I get that? And what do I do? But here's the point about the Indian Challenger Elite here. Only 200 made worldwide. I'm blown away. This motorcycle only has like now 600 miles on it. It's brand new. And I've had people kind of reach out to buy it, but nobody's come through to actually buy it. And I hear you. Watch my channel. Do I let it go? Yeah, I don't know. Mixed feelings on that. I just have to kind of see. I just kind of always evaluating what seems to make sense at the time. It's just about the moment. And riding this Honda CB 1000R, even for me, I'm blown away that I rode this bike 100 miles and didn't cramp up. Because it's kind of hard to see in this picture. I just don't know if you can see the difference of the height of these foot pegs. These foot pegs, this foot peg right here forces your seating posture where you're very cramped compared to my Rocket. So anyways, just really cool bike, whole different bike compared to the Rocket over there. It really is, even though they're so similar in really kind of what you're doing with them, because they're such naked bikes. I put my windscreen on, and I really do want to see if this makes a difference on the way this bike handles the air. This bike here seems to handle the air better on my body posture than this one. It's just crazy. I mean, I would think the total opposite. And now I've ridden this bike seems big and heavy. So yeah, so the stolen conversations. Here it is. Everybody here that's watching my channel. Do I have probably the most sought after stolen vehicle? In some aspects I do, but in all reality, it's not actually factual of the most common vehicles that are getting stolen. But yeah, is it a huge concern of mine? It is. I mean, it really is borderline. In some ways, it is even worth owning these type of vehicles because of the threat of you leaving it parked somewhere and it being stolen. I mean, you have no idea how some days I thought to myself, you know what? I'd be better off just selling all these Mopars and getting some really badass other type of cars, because these cars are just not realistic to be driven places and left. They will be gone. They will be stolen. I mean, it's really bad. I've talked about it before, and how Leesburg Dodge had right in front of their dealership or their detail shop in broad daylight, one of these Charger Scat Packs, I think it was silver color, stolen. I think I remember seeing that car at the dealership too. I mean, wow. Could you imagine going to the dealership and you're buying a car, they send it over to detail shop, and then when it's all, like for me, you just think I was telling you a story. Oh, I went to buy this Super Bee. You saw the video and everything. They sent it over to the detail shop. And when I was getting ready to go back to the dealership, they called me and told me the car's gone. It's been stolen. Can you even imagine? I mean, has anybody had their heart stolen? You know you know what that means is relationships. I mean, it's just so many aspects of in our life of how we feel like something's been stolen from us. And I think that what's interesting where we are today more than ever is the electric vehicle market. In so many ways, I think people feel like the green agenda is wanting to steal your happiness of the ice age. I really do. I sincerely believe that so many people are resisting the electric vehicle age because they feel like the green agenda and the governing bodies are stealing away from you the fun and passion that you just love about these ICE vehicles. I mean, it's so factual. And once again, I went on cars.com, 50-mile radius, there's like 500 of these Mach-E's for sale now. 50-mile radius, there's close to 200 of the F-150 Lightning truck. Those vehicles are, just people, what's going on? I mean, why are people not buying these things? I've talked about it a gazillion times. But the whole point is, I think people feel like the sitting bodies of our governing powers and the green agenda activists are trying to steal from us what we just like in general in life. And there's the guns going off. Yeah, I bought watch my channel. I bought some really cool guns there on Friday at the gun show that I really didn't plan to go per se, but I did. And it's pretty cool. I gotta get those things out. And I got a few people ask me, what gun did you get? Yeah, I'm just not the biggest of the gun guys. So knowing every little detail and fine aspect of what what everything is. But anyways, the ongoing I think aggravation of so many today is we feel like in so many ways the sitting powers to be are trying to steal in some ways your rights. I mean, which is what you just heard at the guns. People, that's a huge controversy and topic all the time. Give the rights to bear arms, to own guns. Here's the GT Mustang. This thing is so loud. This thing is so much fun. And do I supercharge it? The Whipple supercharger is available. But wow, for me to get into that and put money into that, wow, then is that thing fast? Yeah, I don't know. That may be next year's project. And the race truck, whenever my kid gets back, I don't really know when she's coming back. The race truck will come back here before long. And so here's what's interesting. When you watch my channel and you see me go test drive these vehicles, like that 392 Jeep Wrangler, that's a really cool vehicle. The purple is not so much for me, but I know one thing for my kid. If I were to buy that thing, that kid would be like, oh my God, that's mine, that's mine. I'm like, yeah, right. It's yours. It's all purple. And really had a good time driving that car. And so it's so funny, people reaching out saying that lady, sales lady, didn't like you, and she's telling you to obey the speed limit. I can't hear those things. You can hear things said on my channel better than I can. My hearing's so bad that I didn't know what the hell that lady was saying. I thought she was saying, be careful, there's cops over the way. And in all sincerity, she was saying, obey the speed limit. Yeah, whatever. She didn't know who I was. The deal didn't go down. And it's really, I get a kick out of it because my friends will reach out like, are you buying that? I'm like, it's not a question if I'm buying it. It's a question if the bank is buying it. Yeah, and the banks, they're not going to buy the deal. They pull my credit. And it's all about relationships. Just like these Honda Motors. I'm Honda American Finance. I've now got one loan, Honda Finance. Two loans, Honda Finance. In the trailer, I've got a Goldwing. That's 3. I got a Fury. That's 4. I got a CT 125. That's 5. So Honda American Finance, it has 5 loans. Has 5 loans in my name of these vehicles. Wow. Okay. You know why? Because our relationship at that dealership that knows how to get deals done. That's the only way it works. Just like these other cars here. It's all about the relationships. Because at the end of the day, the banks aren't going to buy the deal. Yeah, sure, you want to buy that? Yeah, I'd love to buy that. But then the bank's like, you ain't buying it. We ain't buying the deal. So on the stolen aspect, yeah. I have people reach out all the time and say that used cars here, man, these things are just hot items and people are going to steal them from you. And yes, in so many ways, I do not disagree. If my daughter drives this car to the same place over and over again, it's going to be stolen. But what's really interesting is the electric vehicles, not so much. Believe it or not, one of the least stolen cars in the in the car market as of present is the Tesla Model 3. It's the least sought after stolen car. Why is that, right? Can we all kind of figure that out? Why do people not want to steal the Teslas? I mean, it's all about just making money. I mean, at the end of the day, people are stealing these cars. It's for money. It's not like, I mean, some are going to steal them to go do the joyride. That's only going to last so long because eventually these things are going to get picked up and brought back to the owner. I mean, most people buy these things, or I should say, buy them. Most people that steal these things are wanting to have somebody buy it and get their money out of it by putting it in a crate and putting it overseas. So, all right. So here's the Honda CB1000R. Even for me, what is going on with me, right? Who would think I'd be buying this? And I've talked about it on my channel over the weekend. You know, as I progress, as I get older in life, just to have the athletic capability to ride these motorcycles and enjoy this is my goal. I mean, I'm not getting any younger. And as you progress, your body changes. And in some aspects, I don't know. As time progresses, do I really want these big, heavy bikes? And in some ways, I'm just thinking, I don't know. I think that I'd just rather have a change up in riding. And for the most part, I'm only riding usually, 2-3 hours maybe. We'll do like 100, 200 mile day. So these bikes in so many ways, I mean, this rocket for sure. The CB1000, 200 mile a day, you'd know that. Because it's just, that's not the most comfortable riding motorcycle. It's nice. But the rocket in so many ways destroys it because it's just such a torque monster and a big ass bike. So anyways, keep it going. I don't know, the conversations, the stolen conversations, as I say, can go into so many aspects of our life and things that we do. And that's why I just figured, it's a Monday morning, it's a holiday week, and in so many times I have traveled where I've kind of lost my morning conversations that give me a little break from talking every day. And, it's not easy bringing content to a YouTube channel that intrigues people to listen to you talk. I mean, I get all that. I mean, trust me. I know some people are like, there's just nothing here for me. And others, I think, are like, no, man, I get information and I enjoy the conversations. And as I haven't even unpacked my car collection there, so let's sit on down here and get the morning going. And I'm just all by myself, taking care of the house, the dog. George's the Kiefer dog. He's with the daughter, and taking care of the business, having a lot of fun. What's really pretty incredible, I rode solo from a motorcycle most of my life. Even though you guys see a lot of videos, of my daughter, for the most part, I rode my motorcycles all by myself for at least, I would say, close to 10 years. And because I didn't have street bikes until, I didn't get street bikes back to like 2012. The wife was very much against me riding a street bike with having a young child, and the list goes on. So it took years, it took some time for me to get the wife to kind of, eventually like, all right, you can have your fun time now with your motorcycle. So for me, it's been now an 11-year run of enjoyment of riding street bikes again. Never realizing that the Harley Davidson would steal my passion away from the rice burners. So one thing that popped in my head of stolen was, I was thinking to myself, ever since 2020, if anybody goes back to 2020, it was just such a really lousy year. Just because the pandemic came in, the violence in the streets. I mean, people know it's all this stuff that played out in front of our eyes, and it was just a terrible year. But what's interesting is that 2020 year that rolled into 2021 with the change of administration, think about what you probably have heard used. What's been the most common word that you could probably say, the word is stolen. I mean, the November of 2020, the sitting president, Donald Trump, began the stolen rhetoric. But what's interesting about that is that stolen rhetoric truly expanded beyond the election. It's expanded into our society, I believe, more than ever since I've been here in this country, and that's all I've ever lived is just one country. I truly believe that the crime and thievery and stealing is at the highest rate and has grown at the highest rate in our lifetime. And that, so for me, I think like, wow, stolen is so spot on that more than ever in today's society in this country, I think many people are witnessing and seeing all the things that are being stolen. It's a major problem. It's rampant. The big retailers are suffering this stuff like you've never seen before in a lifetime. Amazon now is now the new moving target of the rolling store for the thieves to steal all the merchandise out of their vans. Even FedEx, I saw a FedEx truck sitting out there in Texas I talked about last week. That truck was being, thieves rolled up to that, and they're stealing everything out of that FedEx tractor trailer. They claim it's close to $100,000. And so it's just, to me, it just really is befuddling to me that you have so many people that try to present that our country's, so many ways, hey, it's fine. I mean, you hear the agendas of so many different individuals supporting what's going on in this city administration. And I just think, wow, is anybody really stepping back and just saying, do you realize that stolen is probably the most dominant word in all the conversations today? I mean, think it through. I just talked about it in the Ice Age versus EVH. I think so many people feel like the governing bodies and the green agenda activists are trying to steal away from us the true happiness of what we like about vehicles. We already know the stolen election claims. I mean, that gets deep and heavy. I'm not going to waste my time on that. What else has been stolen? Well, I guess people could in some ways say they probably feel like their incomes have been stolen because everything's so expensive now. I mean, this is nothing new to anybody watching my channel. So there's an aspect to your life that's been stolen. I mean, in some ways, I guess some people feel like their identities have been stolen. I mean, is that a growing trend? You can ask when you get into the school systems where people will actually express views of what they think's been stolen away from their child's rights. I bet you people could say what they feel like they're as a parent. What's been stolen away from you is your parents' rights of what you think's right versus wrong in school. So I'm sure a lot of people feel like the interest rates that you have to pay now to buy things is just thievery. It's the banking system and the federal government just stealing from you like never seen because it's making it much more challenging for so many people to be able to afford things because everything's so expensive. It relates right back to your income. Here's an interesting article I saw this morning is the commercial real estate industry, these guys are in a shambles. These landlords of these big office buildings are in a total disarray, and I'm sure they feel like their livelihood has been stolen because of the remote working. So I'm sure a landlord would be like, wow, this whole lockdown from the pandemic that never really unlocked the business back to normal, we've been stolen what we felt was great investments in a great business model. I mean, think it through. If you're a big guy that has the money and has investments in all these big properties, you go back to 2018, 2019, you're probably expanding, your rents are being paid. Go to 2020, the lights turn off. 2021, the lights are off. 2022, the lights are off. 2023, the lights are off. It's over. And that's what they're talking about. And the banks don't want to lend these people money to try to salvage these properties. So but you don't hear about it. I talked about this other week on how the lending laws and the lending structures, you're not seeing like bankruptcies. That's what's always intrigued me here. I have access to like the bankruptcy records for like businesses, and there's not much going on. It's always like, in so many ways, like, I guess times are better than you realize they are, even though in so many ways I think they're in a shambles, but you're just not getting the information fed to you because you've been stolen in so many ways. What's really going on? I mean, that's a huge topic of what's the control of the media, that what they want you to see and don't want you to see, and it's huge. It's a big problem. I heard the other day that I think that now the government is going to have control of the internet, either where they're going to be able to step in and I guess moderate what you can see and what you can't see. And a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, perfect timing for the election year, right? We all know the stories of why Elon Musk, look at Elon Musk. Why did he buy Twitter? Because he wanted to have free speech. I think it's deeper than that. I think it's all about artificial intelligence. I really do. That's what I've said from day one. Elon Musk is all about the money factor. And for him, I just strongly believe he just purchased the biggest AI um, in the world, ever. I mean, he has control of so much content that it's incredible. And even to me, I was taken back at how Tesla teaches cars to drive. They teach the car to drive by watching videos, not telling what to do. So what does Elon Musk has? He has so much video content. I mean, beyond believable that he can feed into his own artificial intelligence, the Chat GPT, the generative pre-trained transformer, which I've talked about in great length. Here's Sam Altman and Greg Brockman that have been released from OpenAI. So here's Sam Altman, in some ways, the founder. I mean, there are other individuals of OpenAI, artificial intelligence, and Greg Brockman, another key individual that's been part of OpenAI. Apparently on Friday, the board made a radical, quick decision to release Sam Altman. And that stirred the whole technology world. Like, wow, what the hell is this all about? They couldn't come to an agreement. Apparently, it sounds like, remember that company I was telling you about, the chip maker, NVIDIA, NVIDIA, where this company can make this the superconductor semiconductor chips that nobody else has mastered yet, that makes the super processed computing that they need for the OpenAI, the artificial intelligence. And this Nvidia company's stock just blew up. It's like a $400 and some odd stock, and they were little to even known in the market, and so they got to be known that they make the best semiconductor chip for you to put into your artificial intelligence infrastructure, building out your computer systems and technology. Well, Sam Altman, he's frustrated with that company because they can't get the products that he wants fast enough, and he's paying a lot of money for his stuff. He wanted to raise monies to create their own in-house semiconductor manufacturing. And the board basically is like, no, we're not doing that. So they butted heads. So that's just one of the things, maybe some other things that I'm just not as in depth on. But what really is fascinating, because apparently a lot of people reached out and were very upset that were investors and other high-profile people that were demanding he gets his job back. So apparently Sam Altman structured very quick from being fired to being hired. He structured something and the board members couldn't come to terms. And Greg Brockman's behind the scenes of this at the same time, and they're working together to try to figure out how they maybe get back in, get control. It didn't play out. So now Bill Gates owns them. Yeah, the breaking news is Sam Altman and Greg Brockman now are working for Microsoft. And even though Microsoft has probably, $1 billion invested in OpenAI, he's a major funder of that company. They've taken Bill Gates and Microsoft has taken a position. You know what? If you guys don't want these two guys, we want them, and we're just going to go full blown our own in-house OpenAI, and we can get this guy these chips because we're Microsoft. We are we are the manufacturer of the computer system. So wow. So I wonder if those board members ever stepped back to think to themselves, Bill Gates just stole two of your key guys that created this company, or I should say sustained this company. So right now, how do the board members and others that made this decision this Monday morning feel on how literally after midnight, Sunday midnight, and then once it became Monday morning, the big breaking news was that now Sam Altman and Greg Brockman are now with Microsoft to directly compete against OpenAI and probably even overtake them. Wow. So do those guys feel like, do those individuals in OpenAI think they just got everything stolen from them? Because where it's all going to go is now you've got proprietary information that will this now become a lawsuit? I mean, I'm sure it will. I'm sure that OpenAI will file a lawsuit against Sam Altman and Greg Brockman for all this proprietary technology information. It'd be very interesting to see how that plays out. So, once again, that'll be the stolen. And that's how you can feel about that. But here's what's really incredible to me is the stolen. This word I'm using this morning, I think it so fits the narrative of where we are. Right now, the Writers Guild of Hollywood has been going back and forth now, probably for 4 or 5 months, if not longer, out there in Los Angeles to come to terms on their protection from their own writing capabilities, their own documentaries, that this OpenAI, this artificial intelligence, this generative pre-trained transformer, is going to steal their information. And that's a big concern, that all this artificial intelligence is going to ride off of these producers and writers that will enrich themselves off of their content. And that's what the big argument is, to come to terms on how they feel like they can be protected from artificial intelligence in so many ways taking away their incomes and job. So the whole point of that is, they're concerned that they're going to have their stuff stolen. And I think it's incredible. You're talking about right now what's going on in today's computing world in the artificial intelligence is, I've said it so many times, it's the generative pre-trained transformer. So people are generating pre-trained information to transform that computer into the knowledgeable machine. So they're, in so many ways, they're stealing information to feed the computer, because they're going to be taking everything. In so many ways, if you're a Tesla driver and own a Tesla, they stole all your data of you driving down the road to feed the computer system to figure out how to be a FSD, a full self-driving car. It's kind of like, wow, we're witnessing more than ever the stealing of information at the highest rate ever that's being fed into computers. Wow. And we all know the likes of Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg, that created Facebook, or did he? That's a whole other argument, lawsuits of his college friend, claims that he stole that idea. And that's, that was going on years ago. But Mark, I knew it from day one when Facebook came out. I'm like, I'm not joining that. They're going to monitor and watch everything you do and then share with everybody. And sure enough, what ended up playing out with Mark the Zuckerberg guy, that stole everybody's information and sold it to enrich himself by the hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. And in so many ways, it's still going on. Does anybody remember him sitting on the telephone books downtown in D.C. in front of the, what was it? What was the SCC, not the SCC, the SEC or the FE, whatever. He was being challenged on his business practices of, abuse of to consumers to enrich himself. But is that guy out of business? Nope. Right? So wow, stolen. I mean, I think so many people right now, well, here's the next thing. How many people today wake up and their vehicle's been stolen from them? Yeah, that's huge. But more in the aspect of they already know it's going to be stolen because the repo man showed up and took their car. And it's incredible how many people, I guarantee there's so many people that say, I only wish my car would be stolen because I'm in over my head on that car, and it would be so cool if that car got stolen, and then the insurance company just pays off the loan, and I'm out of that freaking scenario. Yeah. Do you think that happens every now and then? I can guarantee it's happened. Yeah. My Ford Lightning truck, would I be so lucky if I parked that thing in the same place in the parking lot every day of the week that it would be stolen? It's not going to happen. I mean, the Ford Mustang Mach-E, now you take that same scenario. I put my Gold Rush, Hellcat, Red Eye, open public parking spot, day in, day out. As well as I do, it's gone. I was at the car meet, yesterday. Wasn't really planning to do the car show, and yet here's another story. The guy that had that Camaro that runs on the 170 E85, he claims one of his friends that has a Nissan GTR, just here a few days ago, was stolen. Like 2014 model, worth $100,000. Wow. I told you about it last week, about people's cars being stolen. And so, do you feel like, the whole point is the thievery, the crime, you witness people going into these retail establishments. What's so unfortunate is where we are. And look at San Francisco, look at these inner cities. Do you as a business owner feel like your business has been stolen from you because of all the support of the crime by the sitting district attorneys and the sitting politicians that run the ordinances in that town? I mean, it's just incredible. If you just stop and look back. And now the big talk is what happened to all the homeless people in San Francisco? When the Xi from China shows up. And boy, I mean, talk about, here's a guy that shows up that can show face to us. That in so many ways, we feel like that country has stolen so much of our information and technology and has stolen from us possibly people's jobs and livelihoods. I mean, it gets heavy and deep when you start to talk about China. I mean, wow. All right, that's kind of all I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of wrap it up with that. Kind of keep it a little shorter, because usually these conversations get really long. So I think the stolen conversations are so where we are. And you know what? What's the number one concern of people today? I think people's concern is that something's going to be stolen from you, or somebody's going to harm you. I mean, I was at that gun show. Why are people buying guns at the highest rate in modern times? We all know, because people feel like they're going to lose the rights to buy guns, and they're going to, not going to have, things are going to be stolen from you. You don't have the right to protect yourself. Isn't that what it's all about? Why people want to bear arms, because they want to feel like they have protection for themselves, and somebody just can't show up and then do things to them and steal things from them. I mean, that gets heavy and deep as well, but that's the driving force of people having guns. Some guy, comes up and wants to start, robbing you, and then you're like, well, I got this here on me. You didn't know that, did you? I mean, yeah, it gets heavy and deep. We've seen a lot of those videos, right? So where we are going into next year, what's everybody's word going to be? The election will be stolen. The election will be stolen. That's where it's all going. So next year, and then in so many ways, the media machine, in so many ways, will just feed that type of environment, which is so bad. Anyways, all right, leave it at that. Hey, it's Thanksgiving week. We gotta have the turkey week. We're all a bunch of the gobble gobble week and all that other good stuff. So, all right, leave it at that. I hope everybody has a great day, and got to get going here. Did I have a busy weekend? If you watched Friday, if you watched Saturday, and then yesterday, because I went over to my friend's house, Chris and Shannon, hung out with them all afternoon. It's been a busy time. The wife and kid have been gone. I've not been sitting at the house. Yeah. Have I lost a lot of time with other things I should be doing? I have. I got to get to work. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching my channel. Share the channel. And I don't even know if I have a sticker up here. Oh, yeah, I do. If you want the Ice Age TV sticker, and you want to share the love of the Ice Age, because they're trying to steal it from us. And that's why I created this channel, because I just knew that where it's all going is it's going to be anti-Ice Age. We can't let that happen. That can't be stolen from us. So Ice Age TV comments at gmail.com. Get a sticker. I'll mail it to you and put it on your vehicle or whatever. Hey, have a great day. God bless. Stay safe.